Hello everyone, this is Sunil Rana. I'm again with my YouTube channel Easy365 Learning, and today the topic that we have is recipients in Microsoft 365. So Microsoft 365 allows you to manage recipients such as mailboxes, distribution groups to help you communicate and collaborate with others. In this presentation, we'll explore the different types of recipients, how to manage them, and the best practices for working with recipients. Let's take a look through the presentation overview. First, we will discuss the different type of recipients that are in Microsoft 365, including mailboxes, distribution group, public folders, mail users, and mail contacts. And then we'll explore how to manage recipients, including creating and editing recipients, deleting and restoring them, and setting up the permissions for managing recipients. And finally, we will cover the best practices for working with recipients, such as naming conventions, security and compliance, and troubleshooting recipient issues. So let's see what a recipient is. A recipient is any mail-enabled object in ExchangeOnline that can receive email messages. So in ExchangeOnline, we have a variety of recipient types, and each recipient type is identified in the Exchange Admin Center and has a unique value in recipient type details property in ExchangeOnline PowerShell. So let's take a look through the different types of recipients that are in Microsoft 365. So Microsoft 365 offers several types of recipients to enable the communication and collaboration between users. The various recipient types in Microsoft 365 are mailboxes, distribution groups, mail users and mail contacts, and mail-enabled public folders. If we talk about the mailboxes, so mailboxes in Microsoft 365 enables the users to send and receive email messages, manage their calendar, and store contacts and other data. So mailboxes can be assigned to individual users or shared among a group of users. The second recipient type is distribution groups. So distribution groups enable the users to send email messages to a group of recipients with a single email address and can be used to share information among a team, a department, or an entire organization. Then we have mail users and mail contacts. So these recipients in Microsoft 365 enables users to store and manage information about people and organizations they interact with. They can also be used to send email messages, schedule meetings, and make phone calls. Last but not the least, we have mail-enabled public folder. So these are designed for shared access and provide an easy and effective way to collect, organize, and share information with other people in your work group or organization. And the main architectural components of public folders are the public folder mailboxes that store both the public folder hierarchy and the content. Same can be accessed by the users in the Outlook application or in Outlook web app. Now let's take a look through the different mailboxes that Microsoft 365 offers. The first mailbox type is the user mailbox that is usually assigned to the individual users and can be used to send and receive emails in Office 365. It comes with a range of features and settings that can be customized to meet the user's specific needs. Next in the list are shared mailboxes. These are leveraged to provide a common email address for a group of people such as department or a team and allows multiple users to access a single mailbox, making it easy to collaborate and share information. And then we have resource mailboxes that are used to manage resources such as conference room, projectors, or any other equipment and allows users to book and manage these resources through their calendars. Actually, resource mailboxes can be categorized into two. One is room mailbox that is usually assigned to a meeting location such as conference room, auditorium, or training room, and the other one is the equipment mailbox that is assigned to a resource that is not location specific such as portable computer, projector, microphone, or a company car. So if we talk about the distribution groups, these are a collection of email addresses that allows users to send messages to multiple recipients at once. So if you want to send an email to a large audience, you don't need to manually put the email addresses in the to field. What you can do is you can simply create a distribution mail group and add the entire audience as the members to that group. And once the email is sent, the distribution group will be expanded to route the emails to the respective members. And various types of groups that are available in Office 365 or ExchangeOnline are static distribution groups, dynamic distribution groups, mail-enabled security group, and Microsoft 365 group. If we talk about the static distribution group, this group have a fixed set of members and are updated manually. whereas dynamic mail group are based on the rules or conditions that determine the membership and update automatically. Then we have mail-enabled security group. So like a distribution group, a mail-enabled security group also provides a single point of contact for delivering email to the members of the group. This is also a security principle, which means you can assign permissions to the group that will affect all group members who are also security principles like user mailboxes, mail users, or other mail-enabled security groups. At last, we have groups for collaboration that are known as Microsoft 365 or Office 365 groups. These are leveraged for collaboration between teams, both inside and outside the organization, by providing group email and a shared workspace for conversation, files, and calendars. And if we talk about the distribution group management, so it involves tasks like adding or removing members, changing group settings, and assigning permissions. This can be done using Exchange Admin Center or PowerShell. Now we can talk about mail user and mail contacts. So in Microsoft 365, contacts can be created and managed in the address book, and it contains the information about a person who is outside of your Exchange Online organization. It has an external email address but is visible in your organization shared address book and other address lists. And if we talk about a mail user, it is similar to a mail contact that represents a user with an external email address and is visible in the address book. However, a mail user has a user account in the organization and you can assign permissions to him. Please note, mail users also do not require licenses in Exchange Online. So leveraging mail user or mail contact in email communication helps to save time by allowing you to send emails to multiple people at once and ensures that the emails are sent to the correct address. If we talk about managing recipients in Microsoft 365, it involves creating and editing recipients like creation of user account, groups and contacts, and it also allows you to manage the email addresses, display names, and other properties of your recipients. It also involves deleting and restoring recipients, for example, permanently removing or temporarily disabling them and recovering them if necessary. It helps you to manage the availability of your recipients and ensure that they receive the appropriate messages. And we can also assign permissions for recipients in Microsoft 365 that involves granting or revoking access to the recipient management features for individual users or groups. This enables you to control who can create, modify, or delete recipients in your organization. Now let's talk about best practices for working with recipients in Microsoft 365. So to work efficiently with recipients in Microsoft 365, it is important to follow the best practices. The first item that we see over here is naming convention. So following naming conventions for recipients in Microsoft 365 ensures consistency and helps prevent errors when searching for recipients. We must also ensure security and compliance while working with recipients in Microsoft 365. It includes using secure connection, limiting access to sensitivity information, and complying with relevant regulations and policies. Also, troubleshooting recipient issues is an important part of working with Microsoft 365. It includes identifying the issue, checking for errors or misconfiguration, and seeking assistance from support or community resources if needed. Now let's conclude what we have learned so far. We first talked about what a recipient is, followed by different recipient types available in Microsoft 365 or Exchange Online, and then we delved into managing recipients and best practices for working with recipients to improve productivity and efficiency. So guys, that was all about the theory part. Now let's jump over to the demo session where we will practically see everything we have learned in today's session. So let me take you to Office 365 portal and I'll show you how we can create different recipients in Microsoft 365. From here, under the users tab, I'll click on active users to create a user mailbox. So I'll just select active users and then I can click on add a user. Here I can put the basic information. So I'll just put something like this. I'll set the display name for this user. And I can set the user principal name or the account through which this person will log in. Okay, and after that I can set the password for this user. I will hit next. I'll assign the license so that this person gets the mailbox. And if I scroll down, here is the plan or the suite that gives a person a mailbox. So if I uncheck this person will not be assigned any mailbox. Okay, so we'll hit next. If I want to assign any rules to this user, I can just select the rules from here. Otherwise, I'll just hit next. I have also covered creation of user mailboxes in my previous video where I talked about the user states, but a refresher would definitely help. So this is how we create a user mailbox in Microsoft 365. And if I need to create a shared mailbox, what I can do is I can just expand this groups tab over here and click on shared mailboxes. Under that, I have an option that says add a shared mailbox. So I can just name it as shared mailbox 2. And I'll put the email address same as the name, and we'll click on save changes. Perfect, the shared mailbox has been created. And if I want to give full access permission to someone on this mailbox or assign send as and send on behalf permissions, so I'll click on the mailbox here, and from here I'll go to this option that says manage permissions for the mailbox. So I'll click on read and manage. From here I'll click on add permissions, and I can look for myself here. Let's assume that I'm assigning the full access permission to myself on this particular mailbox. So I'll click on add. So that's done. And if I want to give myself send as permission on this particular mailbox, I can go with this, and I'll just put my name again over there. So that's done. Now it usually takes a couple of minutes for the permissions to replicate before someone who has access to the mailbox can view it in Outlook or the OVA application. There's also another way to create mailboxes and set the permissions, and that's through Exchange Admin Center. So if I go to the Exchange Admin Center from here, so from here I can go to the mailboxes tab, and under mailboxes I have an option that says add a shared mailbox. I'll just click on it, and from here I can create a shared mailbox. I'll just name it test shared 3. We'll select the domain as my default domain, that is Easy365 Learning. I can also set the alias as test shared 3. Okay, so the mailbox has been created. So here's the shared mailbox that we just created, test shared 3. Now if I need to assign full access permission to someone on this mailbox or set the send as and send on behalf, I can go to the delegation tab, and from there I can set those permissions. So if I need to go with a full access permission, I'll just click on add members, and I can hit save, confirm. So that will set me the delegate permission for this particular mailbox. If I need to go with send as and send on behalf permission, I can click on the send as, click on add members, and then I'll put my name over there, set this and save and confirm. So this is another way how we can create the shared mailboxes in Microsoft 365. Now let's see how I can access the shared mailbox and send emails using my account through that shared mailbox. So I'll first go to outlook.office.com. Currently this is my account, and in order to access the shared mailbox, what I will do is I'll click on the initials at the top right hand side, and then the option open another mailbox. Here I can put any of those shared mailboxes that I have recently created, and I'll hit open. So at the top you see it opened that particular mailbox. Now I can create an email and send it to my account from here. Let me just name it test email. Sent. Now I should receive that email over here. Okay, perfect. I got the email, but if you see, the address says test shared mailbox 2, right? So the email address shows as test shared mailbox 2 at easy365learning.com. Now, if I want to use my account to send emails as shared mailbox, so what I will do is I'll click on new email and then click on these options. From here, I'll check the box that says show from, and from here I can select my account, and then I can send an email to my account from here. I'll just name it test shared mailbox 2, and I can make it something like send as, and I'll click on send. Now if you see, I received this email, but the from address shows as Sunil Rana, right? And you see it shows my account here, Sunil Rana at easy365learning.com. Same goes with when we set the permission as send on behalf. Over there it says something like Sunil Rana sending on behalf of this particular shared mailbox. And one thing we need to note here, if someone is assigning both the permissions send as and send on behalf on a shared mailbox, send as permission will override the send on behalf permission in that case. Now we will see how distribution groups can be created in Office 365, so we can accomplish this task by leveraging Exchange Admin Center or Office 365 Admin Center. If I talk about the Exchange Admin Center, for creating a mail group, we will go to the Groups tab under Recipients, and from here I can choose the option based on what type of group I want to create. For creating a Microsoft 365 or Office 365 group, under the Microsoft 365 tab, I'll select the option that says Add a Group. By default, you see Microsoft 365 group is selected, so I'll just hit Next. I can name it Microsoft 365 Group 1, and then I'll hit Next. I'll assign the owners for this particular group, so let me assign myself. From here I can add the members who will have access to this particular group, including the group content and files. So I'll select my account from there and hit Add. Next. From here I can assign an email address to the mail group, and from the drop down I can select whether I want to go with a public or a private mail group. So if I go with a public mail group, in that case anyone in the organization can see the group and join it without approval from the group owner, and members can invite others to join the group, and owners can also assign users as members or owners. In case of private groups, only approved members in the organization can see the group, and only the group owners can invite people to join, and members cannot invite others. So for now, we'll go with the public group and hit Next and create group. So that's how we create a Microsoft 365 group. Similarly, we can create other mail groups by selecting the appropriate options like distribution list, dynamic distribution list, or mail enabled security group. For creating a distribution list, I'll just click on the distribution list tab and click on add a group, and from here I'll select the option that says distribution and will hit Next. From here I can just name it something like distribution group 1. We'll hit Next. From here I can assign the owners who will be managing this group. So I'll select myself as the owner, hit Next. Now I'll add the members who will receive emails that are sent to this group email address. So I'll put my email address over there. And I can add other people as well. Hit Next. I'll put the group email address here. Here under Communication tab, I have an option or a checkbox that says allow people outside my organization to send emails to this distribution group. So if I check this, both internal and external users will be able to send emails to me. Otherwise, only internal users or authenticated users will be able to send emails to this mail group. Now there are a few settings here which defines like who can join the group. So if this is selected as open, anyone can join this group without any owner's approval. If this is selected as closed, only group owners can add members and all requests to join will be automatically declined. If it is set as owner approval, anyone can request to join this group and owners must approve. And here are the settings for leaving the group. If it's set as open, anyone can leave the group without group owners approval. If it's set as closed, only group owners can remove members and all requests to leave will be automatically declined. So we will go with the default options at this time and hit next and then create group. So this is how we create a distribution list or a distribution group in Microsoft 365. Similarly, I can create a mail-enabled security group, but for dynamic distribution group, the configuration is a little bit different. So let's try creating a dynamic distribution group. I'll click on add a group, and from here I'll select the option that says dynamic distribution and hit next. Let me just name it something like dynamic group and we'll hit next. Now here I will add someone as the owner for this particular mail group, so let me just put my name over there. And being an owner, I have the permission to add or remove members, delete conversations from the shared inbox, and change group settings. Then let's move to the members tab. For now, we'll go with the default one that says all recipient types. And as I said earlier in my video that the membership in case of a dynamic mail group is controlled by a condition, right? So here we will select the condition, something like if department is information technology, so what will happen here is anyone whose department is information technology will automatically get added to this dynamic mail group, and the membership usually changes every 24 hours in this particular case. As stated earlier, we can also create distribution groups or Microsoft 365 groups through Office 365 Admin Center. So for that, you just need to go to Active Groups, and from there you can click on Add a Microsoft 365 group, or from the distribution list you can select the option that says Add a Distribution List, or if you want to create a security group, you can go to the Security Group tab, and from there you can select the option that says Add a Security Group. And if you want to get a mail user or a mail contact created in the organization, for that you can go to the Exchange Admin Center, and from there you can select this option Contact under the Recipients tab, and here it gives you an option to add a mail contact or a mail user. So let's try creating these recipients now. For creating a mail contact, I'll just click on this option that says Add a Mail Contact, and I can put the name here. So let me put the initials, the display name, and other details that it asks me. Here I will put the external email address for this person. Let's make it something like wiki@gmail.com and hit next. These are the optional settings that you can do over there, and then you can hit next and then create the mail contact. And this is how the mail contact gets created. I'll just refresh it and it should show me here in a couple of minutes. Okay, perfect. We see it now. Similarly, we can create a mail user, right? So I'll just say Rohit. I'll put the name as Rohit. I'll mention the email address, something like rohit@gmail.com, right? I'll set the alias. Here I have some additional fields where it asks me to put the user ID for this person. This user ID is required so that the person can leverage this ID to log into my environment. So I can just put Rohit at easy365learning.com, and from here I can set the password for this particular mail user. And hit next, and then create. So this is how we create a mail user in Microsoft 365. This brings us to the end of this session. I hope you like it. Please subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon so that you are notified about my upcoming videos. Stay connected and have a great rest of your day.